Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. And we are very honored now to welcome back to the conference Owen Moon, who is the CEO of Fixed Ops Digital. Owen, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Hey Ted, how you doing? Thanks for having me, sir. Glad to be
Owen,
back.
I'm doing well, and you have previewed for me some of the things we'll be talking about today, and I'm really excited to hear about the latest version of Google Analytics because I'm interested in that myself.
Yeah, it's coming fast. We got a little bit of time here, but I thought today might be a good time to kind of just give a quick overview for it. We have a lot of different people in the audience that come from different sides of the business, right? Either owners, GMs, even service directors, and so what I wanted to do is just give a little inside look at what GA4 is going to. Or what Google Analytics 4 is gonna bring us, and I felt like today would be a good time to do that. So
And at Fixed Ops Digital, I believe you refer to Google Analytics as the gold standard that you use as the measurement tool. Is that correct?
yeah, absolutely. Google Analytics was sort of adopted years ago. By a lot of businesses, but definitely in the automotive industry. And so, instead of creating our own analytics and different things like that, we just tied right into what every dealership already uses. So all of our clients that we work with, we use their Google Analytics, and we segment everything's to be more fix ops driven or online service marketing driven. Makes it really easy for us to be able to find the information and go and use it to make decisions with our clients. But yeah, Google Analytics is definitely the gold standard, and what every vendor should be using out there to help, sort of manage and show their results, I guess.
And by the way, I forgot to congratulate you. I heard, is it about 600 dealers now for Fixed Ops Digital?
Yeah, we announced 600 dealers, clients at NADA. We're actually over 650 right now, so and we're
Wow.
pushing towards 700, and yeah, it's exciting. I mean, like anything, fast growth comes, maybe fast growing pains, but that's I get up every day and I enjoy it. I heard something today as I was dropping my son off at school, and they said embrace the storm and push through. So it's my motto right now, is embrace the storm and push through. And yeah, we're blessed. We feel super blessed to be able to serve almost 700 dealerships throughout the country. And obviously there's challenges with our industry right now and kind of the economy and where everything's going, but we try to be that bright light for
Mhm.
dealerships as we work with them every day. So
All right. Well, Owen, take it away.
awesome. Well, let me go ahead and grab my screen here. So obviously, Ted, I've been in the industry a little bit longer than some, and you know, when Star Wars, we had sort of the old Star Wars, and then you had the new Star Wars. And I know that's kind of the theme of your event, so I'd have a little bit of that. So the two droids that I remember growing up in the Star Wars series were the iconics, right? The C-3PO and R2-D2. They were the ones that everybody kind of came to love, and of course they started to bring in other droids with all their other movies that came out and that type of thing. Well, today I'm going to introduce you guys a new droid, and we kind of touched on already. This is a guy
Ooh.
that could be, maybe in a future Star Wars or another one down the road, but we're going to call him GA4, and so you'll see him a little bit throughout the presentation today. But really, what I'm going to talk about today is really the benefits of Google Analytics 4. Google Analytics 4 is something that's kind of been a buzzword. I'm sure if you're on social media right now, LinkedIn, Facebook, going to different conferences, things like that, there's a lot of discussion about Google Analytics 4. So what I'm going to do is try to give everybody just a little bit of insight to Google Analytics 4 and where it's going. And hopefully by the end of this, you guys will have a much cleaner, I guess, picture of it. So let's talk a little bit first. What is Google Analytics 4? So again, Google Analytics 4, or what a lot of times we refer to as GA4, it's the newest tracking and analytics platform that Google is coming out with. And it has a lot of different features. So it has, more intuitive features like data modeling. It uses artificial intelligence to help fill in some of the gaps in data where the traditional analytics, may have otherwise been blocked. And again, the reason why I wanted to bring this up today is that we're sort of on a time frame here. All dealerships will need to be fully integrated with GA4 by July 1st of next year. So we still have a little bit of time, but I already know some dealership groups that are already starting to make that transition to GA4. And our company is actually already using GA4 in some of our initiatives as well. So, so what is the difference, right? I know, maybe we don't understand GA or haven't used GA a lot, some of the audience here. Let's just kind of talk a little bit about the difference. So what most people are using right now is what we call universal GA. Now, universal Google Analytics kind of focuses more on sessions as opposed to users. And I'll get more into that in a little bit, but just kind of think of it as the big difference, right? Sessions as opposed to users. Now, GA4, as I kind of mentioned, it works more off of users, or it focuses more on users. So what GA4 is allowing us to do is natively, kind of utilize websites and apps to get a more holistic view of, the user's journey, that we can then use for analysis and insight. So, kind of at its core, or overall, what kind of the theme is going to be that GA4 will give your dealership a better idea of how shoppers are actually interacting within their website. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits. So I'm going to kind of focus on some key benefits that I think are important. The first one is improved user engagement analysis. Then I'm going to touch on Google Analytics 4 providing more powerful audiences for Google ad campaigns. And then lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about simplified goals, tracking, and reporting. So let's talk a little bit about improved user engagement analysis. As I kind of mentioned, transitioning away from a session-based model to more of a user-based model, and looking at that overall user journey as a whole. That's something that we've sort of been siloed over the years, where we're everybody that comes on to a website is considered a session. So it's very siloed. You might have new sessions and new users and things like that, but it's all kind of in their own buckets, where a user-based model is designed to kind of go over the entire journey. So instead of analyzing data from kind of a one-size-fits-all approach, GA4 actually lets you examine each user individually, and then what relevance actions are taken on the website, and that allows the dealerships to really focus on more metrics that matter, which is obviously the data that we can take action on, or what we call actionable data. Okay. The other nice thing about GA4 is that we now have cross-device tracking. As I kind of mentioned, with that session-based model, it was also very segmented by smartphones, tablets, desktop. All of those are kind of considered separate. So Ted, if you were to go on a website on your phone, and then you were to go on with your computer at home, you would find that you would be considered sort of two different people in the eyes of Google Analytics. Obviously, they can look at things to see if you were a new user and that type of thing, but they don't get that clear picture. So with cross-device tracking, they can now track you whether you're on your desktop, on your smartphone, your tablet, and kind of look at you as one user, not as separate segmented situations. Okay. So here's an example, right? So, you can kind of see, this is sort of an example how we use this new improved GA4 model. Let's say we wanted to track somebody that goes to a service specials page. You can see here, this is a special that's for a 4-wheel alignment. Then we want to, move someone to a more of a details page, kind of clicking to learn more, where we're getting more information about that particular 4-wheel alignment. And now we want to, bring that customer to the schedule service page within the website. Now, in the old universal analytics, these would all be looked at as like 3 separate events, right? 3 separate page views. But with the new GA4, we can kind of look at this little sequence of how customers are engaging inside the website, and actually look at that together and say, how is that kind of working for us as we're now bringing customers through 3 different specific pages on the website, that type of thing. And I'll get more into that in a little bit as we talk a little bit more. So moving on, let's talk a little bit about, the audiences, right? So GA4 is kind of Google's response to Facebook. Facebook obviously has a lot of ways that you can create different audiences, things like that inside the catalog, inside the Facebook accounts and the business accounts, and give you more information on who you want to target. Well, this is kind of Google's response to that. So with GA4, you're going to get much richer analysis on customized analytics goals. You now have the ability to create highly specific marketing lists based on things like, page views, goal completions, or, maybe some of the other Google Analytics segments that are available. This is kind of using that same logic where we're able to take lists and then obviously, make audiences out of them. With GA4, you're going to go beyond just the conversion. You can now track users who are engaging with your website. And then the last thing is, and this is actually kind of really cool, is that you can gather insights on which keywords we're actually bringing in those new users. So again, more information is always power, right? Knowledge is power. And with GA4, what they're doing is they're providing a much cleaner interface to allow dealerships and other businesses to be able to get some of this data a lot easier and more efficiently than with the current model or the current version of analytics. So one of the things that dealers can do is now they can define those specific audiences that meet certain criteria. Here's just some examples, right? And I try to create some real life examples of what you could actually do with this. So there's a thing called static audience. Okay. Now, one way that you could use that, or how we would use that as a service marketing company, is we would see who visits the service specials page. And then maybe we want to create a list of everyone that's visited the service specials page. Then do we want to create that audience and send specific service marketing, using different ad campaigns? Another audience would be what we'd call a dynamic audience. Now, this audience is a little bit different in that it's usually a time frame, right? So let's say somebody came to one of our service-focused website pages within 30 days. Well, at day 1, that customer would enter that audience, and at day 31, that customer would drop off. So it's a kind of a flowing audience that is in a certain parameter, and it could be anything from 2 weeks, 2 days, you name it. You can customize this, but this would be just an example of what a dynamic audience might look like. Predictive audience is another cool thing, right? So any user who might return to the website several times within a set time frame. So let's say a shopper comes back 3 different times and looks at 3 different service related pages within a 10-day audience. Well, now that's kind of a predictive audience. We understand that customer more than likely is going to, still in the market. They're going to be looking, and now we can create an audience around that. And then the last thing is a defined audience. Defined audience is really simple. You can have, Ted, you could be in 3 different audiences. Let's say you are in a specific audience for this criteria, and then maybe you're in another audience for another criteria. So it's not like you can only be in one audience. If you can define the audience, you can have shoppers in several different audiences based on what your goals are. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. So the last thing is kind of looking at it from a goals tracking and reporting, right? So as I kind of been mentioning, I think the theme here is that reporting, or GA4 is really designed to focus more on that user journey. So the reporting has to kind of accommodate that, right? So our reporting for GA4, really focuses more on the user. So for example, Universal Google Analytics, there's sections inside Universal GA right now that, can be sort of segmented, right? You've got audience, all traffic, behavior, conversion. Those are very siloed, right? They're very siloed in, if you're looking for all traffic, you can get all traffic. If you're looking at behavior, you can get into behavior. With GA4, the segments are a little bit richer, right? You've got acquisition, you've got engagement, you've got retention. Okay. These are actual sections that can allow you to make better decisions on what to do with your marketing and really what your website's doing for you. Wow. And then really the big thing is event parameters. Universal Google Analytics only has 3 event parameters, right? Category, action, and label. And these are all defined, and they're not changeable. Well, with GA4, they have up to 35 event parameters, which means that you can really customize your reporting and your insight more to what you're looking for. And that'll give you a chance to obviously have better analysis, again, to just make better decisions. If we can make good decisions based on the information that we have, we're going to win more times than we're going to lose.
Sure.
Google Analytics 4 can turn any event into a goal by just simply a click of a button. So, one of the things that we want to do is we want to make sure that we're tracking different things that are happening on the website, and we can do that by turning any event into a goal. We can actually create a goal and see, hey, what are we trying to accomplish, and that type of thing. We can also, with GA4, provides more leverage and easier communication. And this is kind of interesting. So setting up an event to record a click text will basically take any text that's on your website, and you can turn that into into an event. So, if we want to, so one of the things that we do with GA4 is we track everything from schedule service, save to phone, learn more. These are all of our, primary CTAs that our dealerships are interested in. So we can actually now track all that, utilizing the GA4 platform. So the last thing, like I said, is it's really designed to focus on the user journey, right? The GA reports are more user centric. They're in line with the marketer's requirements and to achieve their goals. And then they have this thing called an analysis hub, and that's really where you can create custom reports and visualizations. So this is where it's kind of like a one size doesn't fit all approach, right? If you want to look at specific information, you just create your own analysis hub, or you customize that. So now you can go back to that analysis hub day in, month in, and start getting historical data and things like that on predetermined, or on not on predetermined goals and objectives, excuse me, that the old analytics had, but now on the things that you're interested in. So again, just a lot of great customization and stuff that's going to be more designed around each dealership individually, or each business individually, to get the most out of it. So here's an example of one of our engagement reports. I took the dealership name off, but you can kind of see here how we use this, right? So again, here's one of our coupons. You've got schedule service, save to phone, learn more. You've got all this text in here. We can track all this. We've got our Sunbit integration, which we announced earlier this year. So all of these different call to actions or action buttons can now be clicked, and they can be tracked. And so this is something that allows us to really dig into offers, look at pricing strategies, see exactly what do we need to do to get more results out of the marketing strategies that we are putting out there with the dealership. So I'm going to end with this, just a few key takeaways, and obviously this was just a quick overview of GA4 and what you can expect, but it really comes down to this, right? Google Analytics 4 becomes mandatory July 1st, 2023. I would definitely take some time to start that process of transferring your dealerships over. It might be an easy process, but it might not be. You might have to do some configuring in there once you get going. So I would start sooner than later. Nice thing about GA4 is it now gives the dealerships the ability to create and segment audiences that can be used for other service marketing efforts. I think this is huge. This is something that obviously Facebook has done a really good job of, and now Google is sort of matching that with GA4. And then the last takeaway for today, if you would just be that we now have actionable data that's going to help you service directors make decisions regarding marketing your department, whether it's a pricing decision, whether it's an offers or a special, whatever type of information you want to get out there for your consumers. It does you no good if you don't know if it's working or not. And so GA4 definitely now gives you that capability. So with that, Ted, I'm going to kind of turn it back to you. And do you have any questions or any
Yes.
insight from what we talked about?
Oh, and it sounds like we have some time as dealers, but not a lot of time, okay, to figure this out. So
Yeah.
basically what you do at Fixed Ops Digital for your dealer clients is you take all the guesswork out of this. You've obviously done the research, and you know what each of the new categories are and what they do. So you really help your clients set that up for them so that they have the new measurement tools and can take advantage of that sooner than later.
Yeah, right now we're using it internally for our own
Okay.
metrics that we can then talk to the dealer about with our drive service specials technology and some of the other software that we have out there. But the strategies that we have out there. But yeah, this is something that we have sort of raised our hand and said, hey, if anybody needs any help, we can definitely assist on it. There's a lot of different people out there doing, they can help with this. So, obviously, I'd find someone that you can trust and that is going to help you, and at least lead you in the right direction on which way to go with this. And again, I'd do it sooner than later. I mean, obviously, we have a little time here. We're over a year away, but it's definitely coming fast. And let's be honest, how fast our months go these days with the car business anyways, it's going to be here before we know it. So
And final question, Owen. I
Yes, sir.
noticed when you showed us the user engagement, you did that on mobile. You showed us
Yeah.
a couple examples with service specials. By the way, I learned that phrase a couple of years ago from you, service specials page. I had not heard about that until I met Fixed
Oh,
Ops
the
Digital.
service menu page, right? Yeah, the service menu page.
Are most consumers today on a mobile device accessing the dealership website, or what are you seeing there?
Yeah, what's great about what we're doing with our company is that now that we service right around 650 stores,
Okay.
with some of the technology with the GA4 and some of the things, we're able to bring all that data collaboratively together, right? So we're seeing on average about 70% mobile. So there's no doubt that people are on their
Wow.
phones. That's why we started the saving the passes or the offers into your phone years ago, because
Yeah.
people aren't printing coupons anymore. So for us, it's being able to take scale, I guess, or take the scope, which is a much bigger scope, and make those and help dealerships be able to make those decisions, not because we say so, but because what we've found to be true inside the data that we're looking at every day. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting stuff. I mean, obviously. I kind of look at V Auto, right? V Auto was a huge, huge step in the right direction for a lot of dealerships. I don't think early the people thought it was, because it was like the race to the bottom, they always say, and trying to outprice everybody. But as people started to get smarter with it and use it a little bit more strategically, they
Yep.
started to really see that, hey, that was a product that I can utilize to help run my business. And we're kind of doing that with our drive service specials product. We can look at the engagements and what we're seeing happen from a pricing standpoint and that type of thing, and then make decisions about it. I mean, if you don't know how many times people are engaging with a certain offer, we might find that when we price something $10 more, our engagements drop in half. Well, there's obviously a disconnect then between the dealership and the customer. So a lot of those different things that our performance team is working diligently every day with
Yep.
our dealers, and just trying to make really good decisions with the data we have available to us.
Everyone make sure that your digital marketing company specializes in fixed ops. Owen Moon's company, Fixed Ops Digital, does just that. This is what they do. They are the fixed ops experts. So, Owen, if our audience wants to reach out to you for more information, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, either email or phone number. My email's scrolling across the bottom there. It's Owen at fixedopsdigital.com. Or
Okay.
you can reach me directly. My direct line is 605-376-0195. Usually available if I'm on the line doing something or talking to a customer. Just shoot a text message to me. I'll get back to you. I actually got a couple text messages while sitting here, so I'll be following up with those. But yeah, just feel free to reach out to me. I'm always accessible. We're always there to help our dealers and answer any questions we can, whether we're working with you or not. That's obviously part of our, my feel like our role in the company, in the industry, is just
Yeah.
to be there, be a resource for dealers. Hopefully we'll work with that dealer at some point, but even if not, I've got a lot of great friends that I can either get information, for them or answer it ourselves. So.
Owen Moon, great new information on Google Analytics 4. It'll be here before you all know it, everybody. Owen Moon, the CEO of Fixed Ops Digital, here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks, Ted.